good, team? We're gonna go over a little trade recap of the day, May 30th, 2025. So this here's the trade that I took. Now I'm gonna tell you guys why I took this trade. So I came into the morning, I identified this sell side liquidity. I was bullish on the day, even if there's this big ass move, because overall the market's been really bullish. If I drop down to the 4 hour, you guys will be able to realize that we've been just going straight up and that this is just a slight retracement. Going back here, usually I trade on Q. Today I traded at ES for the first time in probably over a year or year and a half, which is insane. So I identified my accumulation and then into the manipulation right here for me. So this right here was my accumulation, this right here was my manipulation, and this right here would have been my distribution. Now, that being said, there's these equal highs here that even can extend all the way back to here, right? So the idea here was that I identified my range after the manipulation happened, right? And then there's OTE or EQ of the range. So price pushed back above EQ. I'm not gonna lie, I entered here and then got all this chop here and got stopped break even right here because I moved myself to break even. I don't know why I can't see my. Oh, it's because I'm not connected to the broker. 1 second. All right, now we're connected to the broker. So I entered here, and I got stop BE right here, okay? And then when price really dug into that OTE here, and swept this liquidity right here on the 1 minute. Here, I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like. So price swept all of this inducement here, went lower. I entered on the pullback here when it really showed that, again, same setup, lower time frame, right? Accumulation, manipulation into the distribution. Now, because this is a 1 minute AMD and not a 5 minute AMD, was a little more skeptical of what was going on. So if I want you guys to pay attention to this right here, this is very important. Price on NQ was really close to the making an SMT, and to be honest, I personally expected the SMT to happen, which is why I was a little hesitant towards taking the trade, but I still took it. Um, with that in mind, okay? Now, it didn't make the SMT. It showed bullish displacement, so I was like, okay. I'm going to enter on the retest of EQ, targeting the highs. Initially, my trade was like this, okay? Once we got here and we started doing all this shit, after sweeping this and filling this entire big-ass FVG here, tapping into this order block, and doing this weird shit right here, I knew that it was a possibility of it happening at the highs as well. So once I saw NQ taking this high as well, I closed the trade for a 1 to 1.5. I closed it right here. Okay? So with that in mind, the trade ended up being a 1 to 1.5. Now, is that bad? Not at all. That's actually pretty decent, but it was a little less than I thought it was going to be. It ended up going super lower, so market experience did come in handy here. I would have gone stopped out times a million, and then it did end up going to TP, so that would have been pretty annoying to witness. So yeah, that brings the account up 265%. I think May was an insanely slow month. I had 3 Ws and 1 BE and 2 or 3 Ls, I'm pretty sure, which keeps my account or brings my account up probably like 10-15% in the month of May, which is not great for what I'm going for. But hopefully June, July is better, which they probably won't because summer months are pretty shit. But yeah, we'll see. Today was pretty good action. Other than that, um, so yeah, I think that pretty much sums up the trade. Really, there was also a 1 minute unicorn setup, but that just goes without saying. If you have AMD, you're gonna have a 1 minute unicorn, and let me tell you guys why right now. So you have your AMD. This is the A, right? Then you have your M right here into your D right here. Okay, so the accumulation right here, the last leg of it, which is this one here, this leg right here, the last leg of it, becomes the breaker for the unicorn usually, right? So you extend this, and that becomes your second entry, if you will, for the unicorn setup. Um, to be honest, I don't think I got it there actually because of the what I told you guys, but this is usually my second entry. The first entry is on the retest here after manipulation. It's also important to note that all this is happening in key times. So if I drop back down to the 1 minute, oh, wrong one. If I drop back down to the 1 minute, I entered this trade at 9:36 and this one at 10:02. So right after market open and in the macro. Okay, I exited the trade at 10:25. I also realized that my win rate is super lower past 11 and even 10:30 and past there. So I usually like to, or I didn't mind exiting the trade around that time because I just don't like being in trades at that time. So that being said, guys, that's a trade recap for today. I'll catch you guys next week in the live for the funded account challenge. Try to get funded together. And other than that, yeah, guys, have a good one. Peace.